Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Let's go! Let's go! On the set. 98 to Mike. Let's go, D.
On 1st and 10, Cottrell. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now again, right side. It's Armstrong. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cottrell. But he hits the tight end. It's Davis. On 3rd down, Armstrong. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here come the Bengals now to take over. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Hey, Team 6, hit it.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. And he comes back with one complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Again, Smith. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Going to throw right side here, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. From the red zone now, Smith. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Smith. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Over the middle, complete. It's Beal. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
On 2nd down now, it's Armstrong. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Throwing on 3rd and long. Cottrell and finding Davis here, the tight end. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
6-6, pull it hard. Hit it.
On 1st and 10, Smith forced out to his left. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 40 yards.
51, come on. It's just me and you. It's just you draw closer. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Joker, Joker. Joker, Joker. Hey, Echo. Go. Get it.
Throwing is Smith. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Cottrell looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Armstrong. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. From the gun, Cottrell looking for his running back, and he's got him. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
On 2nd and 10, Smith, throw left side complete. That's Page. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Come on, set. 60 kicks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hurry.
Play action. It's Smith. He'll buy some time right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Beal. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions, because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there, and in a big way.
Hey, Zoo.
2nd and 10, Smith again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Off the play fake. Cottrell, there again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
Just say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
From the gun on 3rd down. Cottrell looking middle, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Check
On first down, it's Armstrong. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 19. Operating from the gun, Cottrell. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, Cottrell. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Back to the air. Smith on 2nd down. Leaping, and he makes the grab. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37.
1st and 10 at the 37.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, box drop.
They'll fake it. Now Smith sliding out of the pocket. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down.
Well, no takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Hey, team 6. Let's go. Hey, we got
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent, that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Operating from the gun. Cottrell finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, it's Smith. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Come on. Hey, over. Recon, 152 fighter. Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. From the gun, here's Smith. And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Let's go, baby.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm. A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw on 2nd down. Cottrell. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Off of play action. Here's Smith being chased out left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Beal. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Hey, Delta. I'm on.
On 1st down, Smith. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll roll him out right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Page. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, he'd be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. Throwing again is Smith. Flush to his right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
He'll try and run it, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third? And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been threes.
You gonna see me in your nightmare, son.
On first down, Cottrell. They will find Davis. That's complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He'll get about 4 here, down at 43-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They run the counter. Mullins. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, Cottrell. It's caught by Davis. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And out now, here come the Bengals. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
60 Pittsburgh.
Smith now to throw on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Beal. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 17 at a Cincinnati first down. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
70, Indy. Hey, do.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Now Smith. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off play action. Smith. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. From the gun on 3rd down. Cottrell over the middle, complete. That's Armstrong. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Cottrell completes it to Davis. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Throwing on 1st down, Cottrell. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a 2nd down. 2nd and 6. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 6. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Back to throw. Cottrell. And it is incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally. Smith on first down. Flushed out right. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. It's Armstrong. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Armstrong.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
This is fielded inside the 5. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You've got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone, but they win big.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top two options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through three. That was impressive.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Let's go now.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He's got daylight. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Check 13. Check 13.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Throwing now, Smith. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Hey, Mike 51, right there.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. And his throw is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, Smith escaping the pressure right. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Get ready, go.
Smith going to throw it. Throwing left side, it's complete. 23 yards the pickup there. Play action. It's Smith rolling to his right. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cincinnati, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the rough season continues as they've plunged to 1-13. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home